I think this is going to be basically a very gussied up informal advisory committee from what I can tell.
Sure.
And what's interesting about this is it's not really even a new concept. They've been doing this a long time. President Reagan had, it was the Grace Commission. Clinton had one he called the Reinvigorating Government Commission.
Reinventing government, they put Al Gore in charge of it.
Yeah. That thing actually lasted for about 5 years, I learned, writing about this. So that was a big deal in the 90s. And then Obama had one in 2010 that became known as the Simpson-Bowles Commission. So there's kind of a tradition of every 15 years or so putting one of these things together, saying you're going to streamline the government.
Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by White House reporter Haisten Willis. Haisten, we're in the middle of a transition. President Joe Biden is exiting. One of the issues that has come up because he had been investigated over his handling of classified documents when he left the Obama White House after 2 terms as vice president is how to manage his possession of classified documents as he departs this time. What's sort of the status of that?
Yeah, it's such a strange dynamic where we have 2 guys, both of them who have been president before, and one, of course, basically returning the office of the guy he took it from. And they both have had issues with classified documents. This hit Trump first publicly. It was a big, huge story. August 2022, the FBI raids Mar-a-Lago. They're looking for classified documents. Again, it's a huge, huge story. And Biden was all over this. He went on, I think it was 60 Minutes. He said, how could anyone be so irresponsible as to have these classified documents just loose in their house like that? Just about 6 weeks after that, his house, it turns out, also had classified documents stored there. He also had stuff at what's called the Penn Biden Center. So basically, he had done the exact same thing he was, accusing Trump of doing. So there's a lot of distrust, I think, kind of flowing around on both sides here. Neither of them has really faced very serious consequences. Trump's investigation didn't really go anywhere. Biden didn't get investigated because the investigator, Robert Hur, concluded that he was would be perceived as an elderly man with a poor memory.
Right, he couldn't be prosecuted.
Yeah. So neither one of them has really faced consequences, at least not like criminal consequences. But again, I think there's a lot of distrust here going around. As Biden turns things back over to Trump, they're going to be looking to try to work this out and hopefully not have any issues for a 3rd straight cycle.
So Biden and Trump had a meeting at the White House. It was all smiles. It was pretty chummy. They said nice things to each other. But the Biden administration is still looking to do the limited things that it can do in executive orders and elsewhere to sort of Trump-proof various things, no?
Yeah, well, this isn't even a new thing. They've been doing this all the way back to the spring of 2024. Biden administration was looking to basically Trump-proof various things they can do, basically kind of like tie things in knots that Trump couldn't undo, or at least couldn't quickly undo. One of them is this thing called Schedule F, which is kind of insidery, but it's basically the notion that the president, conservatives generally think the president should have more power to fire people inside the federal government. That way, not that he wants to fire them per se, but they have to listen to him and do what he wants, right? Democrats are very much opposed to this. So Biden tried to Trump-proof basically this whole Schedule F concept back last spring. He actually proposed and they finalized a rule. So since it's been ensconced in a formal rule, Trump can try on day one to undo that, but it's going to take him a while, I think, again, to kind of untie the knot that Biden tied before he left the place. So that's kind of interesting. Otherwise, I think you're asking generally about executive orders, what Trump's going to do. You're going to see a lot of action there on immigration. Biden, of course, signed a whole bunch of executive orders when he, so again, it's this weird dynamic where like one gets it, one takes over and then you get it, handing it back to him. So a lot of what Trump's going to be doing is basically undoing what Biden did before. But you're going to see
which often involved the undoing of what Trump
did. Yeah. So again, like I said, it's very strange back and forth here. But you're going to see that again, immigration, transgender stuff. Obviously, Trump campaigned really hard on that. And again, you might have some stuff with the Schedule F deal.
Right. And so one thing that is a little bit different than before is that Trump is bringing his pal Elon Musk, well, everywhere basically. But Musk is going to have a role in the Trump White House. Talk a little bit about the ethical implications of that and what people are saying about that.
Right. So Trump has named Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to what they're calling the Department of Government Efficiency, which is Not really a department. The only reason they even named it that is because they wanted to get this acronym to say Doge, which is like an internet meme and like a cryptocurrency and all this stuff, very insidery and online kind of thing.
They're always going to appear with red eyes. And,
I guess so. Yeah. That's a little strange. So, people on the left, I think, are a little bit concerned about this. Elon Musk is the world's richest man. Yeah, he's hanging out with Trump all over the place now. He flew with him to Washington earlier this week. They're besties, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, he donated a lot of money to Trump's campaign, and he has billions of dollars worth of contracts with the federal government. So there's a lot of questions being asked. Okay, what's going on here? Is he going to be getting access to like government records or having power over people while he's also a contractor, right? Is he kind of playing both sides of the aisle here? I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be basically a very gussied up informal advisory committee from what I can tell. And what's interesting about this is it's not really even a new concept. They've been doing this a long time. President Reagan had, it was the Grace Commission. Clinton had one he called the Reinvigorating Government Commission.
Reinventing government, they put Al Gore in charge of it.
Yeah. That thing actually lasted for about 5 years, I learned, writing about this. So that was a big deal in the 90s. And then Obama had one in 2010 that became known as the Simpson-Bowles Commission. So there's kind of a tradition of every 15 years or so putting one of these things together, saying you're going to streamline the government. Elon's an interesting guy. He has a lot of unique ideas, and obviously he's been extremely successful. So we'll see if he shakes things up a little bit more than those did. But that's what they're doing.
And maybe he'll rename the federal government X.
If he could do it, I think that's what happened.
Excellent. Thank you, Haisten. You can read Haisten and the rest of our political team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.